What's up, people? How you doing? Welcome to my channel. This is Akah Bants. ABNG gang. Hey! It has been a tough week. It has been a tough one, my dears. Hey! My besties, I could not find you on the streets. ABNG gang, how can I be dragged on Twitter? How can I be dragged on the interweb 3 times under 9 months? 3 good times. Did I peradventure? Did I rent apartment in the mud? Because they dragged me, gone. They dragged me. For what? What did I ever do to you on the interweb? What did I ever do to Twitter people? First of all, I shall do know that Twitter people, Twitter straights, demons. They do what? Demons. They can be smart or they can be nice. They can have sense sometimes. When it comes to fighting, they are the best. Put them in front. Look at what happened with NSAS. They were the ones that literally fought till the end. But in real life, I say what? They do demons. Let me read some of the tweets because he know easy. Somebody said, Akah must have read that article that said breast milk cures COVID vaccine things. To be honest, I'm not even going to lie. I'm not going to lie to you. I saw the article. Anyway, so this person said, that Akah video is sadly how a lot of us guys talk. We think we are helping by using words that show inclusiveness, but reality is we aren't. Best to empathize with your babe and actively seek to do something that eases her. Actions do speak louder. So the thing is, like when I say we, before childbirth, that we was very necessary. In fact, I had to learn it because that was what we needed at that phase in our relationship. I had to get into a we mentality. My wife drilled it in my head. It's about us, not you, because I'm coming from being a bachelor, and then I was thinking like a bachelor, I was acting like a bachelor, I was living and being like a, but I had to now take time to enter this thing called marriage and get into a we. So before I make a decision, I'm thinking of us. I'm thinking about what my wife will think about it. I have to ask. So it's a we thing. Plus, I've gotten to a space where whatever I do cannot be isolated, and whatever she does cannot be isolated. And that is my school of thought. Whether you believe it or not, that's my school of thought. And I don't think that it is wrong. Why? Because in my mind, truly, I do believe that we are one. Begin. So in my mind, what I was saying, that we are the one breastfeeding is because why? We don't have help. Do you understand? So when she's breastfeeding, she's able to do that breastfeed because somebody has gone to wash the plates. Somebody has gone to prepare food. Somebody has made sure that she has drank pap in the morning. Somebody has made sure that she just ate oats to help her increase supply. So because if she didn't do, if those things were not done, she will not have the time or the energy to do those things, or breastfeed and do those things, or do those things and still breastfeed. So it's 2 of us in the game, dears. That's what I meant by, and the truth is that I didn't say this in the video because I was also trying to focus on hearing what she was saying and getting a point of view. So I understand where she was coming from. She must have been saying, it's not a we, but I understand what she meant, not what she said by it's not we, because having her to be the one to breastfeed it's an act that is done by only her. But it does not negate the fact that I also believe that even in that we mentality is very necessary for everything we do. Like I said, when I go out to work, it's a we. She has given me the wherewithal, the ability to do it, to go out and work. The permission, okay, you know what, go today, you don't, Akah can do doesn't have to do night duty today because he's going to work tomorrow. I will stay over. I remember that. And when I go out to work, it's because my wife allowed me and she made it possible for me to attend this meeting or go out to work or be on set because she's at home on the grind, taking care of our baby. That's how I see it. So that's what I meant by it is us breastfeeding. And that's why I was like, it's unfair for you to say, come and breastfeed this child, which we didn't hear in the previous conversation. Because I don't have the breast, and if I could, I would. So, did you people hear how we were resolving? Because like, what you said was unfair to me. And she said, I'm sorry about that if it hurt you. That's conflict resolution we're trying to school you on. This tweet, when myself and my wife saw these tweets, oh my God. We fell down on the floor. We were laughing. See, I was choking when I was laughing. I sent it to my manager, ASAP. Look, this person said, Honorable CC underscore Toby said, Claire, this meme, pump some milk inside that ceramic bowl. I want to drink custard. Oh my God. Oh my God, people are mean. People are mean. Oh my God. I don't think anything is wrong with the video. I don't. They decided to be real and vulnerable. I think it's their decision. They know what it was. And I think their goal is to let singles and young people learn. Thank you, Bants. You have responded to that for me. I'm not done watching this video, but with what you just said, they need a manager. Like there are some avoidable mistakes people shouldn't be making in 2021 there. Who told you don't have manager? We have manager. The rawness of the video is the coco. Owani coco. Man lola ogede. Lesson learned. Do yours and let them do theirs. We love their realness. Thank you, there. Thank you, Oluwa Sindarami. Thank you, Oluwa Sindarami. The whole point of them sharing real life struggles wouldn't have been valid, and a lot of people wouldn't have been able to relate to it like they currently are. We've seen a lot of fake videos on social media, and this is an appreciated break. They will unlearn to learn and be fine. At the end of the day, they will be fine. Bruh, make I no talk. It should do, but then it's best. Here is what I'd suggest. Your first baby, try exclusive. Then second one, just do formula. Then you'd see the difference. Oh my God. One guy put out this tweet, and I'm excited because this tweet showed us that it's this kind of tweets that make me realize that what this video came out to do was very necessary. This guy says, you mean a woman can give birth and not be able to produce breast milk? I'm knowing about this for the first time. Thank you, Claire. The sheer amount of conversation this whole thing has triggered, I'm here for it. I even saw Snapchat. One of my friends sent me a screen grab of a whole session, a chat room on, what do they call this app? Clubhouse, that women were having on the pressures of breastfeeding. And to be honest, great. I learned a lot from Akah and Claire's video. It validated my belief that a man can never be an ally. You can never truly understand the inner workings of a woman. If you want to make her happy, just listen to her and act accordingly. You know nothing. I don't subscribe to this school of thought because I don't think you're on the right side. So you are on the wrong side, but you're trying to learn from it. Come out from your divide. Men can be allies of women, and women can be allies of men. Men and women can be amazing partners. Do you understand? In life, there will be challenges, hurdles for you to jump over and skip. Why? Different upbringing, different build-up, different personality. It is how you hold your hands together through those differences that matter. That is what real allies are. Even in friendship, your female friends, you don't always agree every time. You always fight. Not because of one fight or one disagreement, you now say you can now be an ally. That is a childish and immature way of thinking. And that is the way you will enter a relationship, and it will not last because you already have a mindset that men are somewhat not incapable of being good to women or incapable of making a woman have fulfillment in her relationship. I don't subscribe to this. Sheung Adiola. So dear, grow up. I hope that you learn. Continue. Follow us on Instagram. I'm sure you will learn a lot from us, so that when you enter a relationship, you'll be much better. Man, I couldn't continue this video. How doesn't Akah understand that it's her body and she is the one going through the mental stress? You can't do teamwork with that one. You can only encourage and support her. He was so defensive and not listening. How was I being defensive? When I'm even trying to say, baby, but it's because when she says stuff like, I only need support from you, it's because I give support. So that's why I was trying to. So it's not as if I was being defensive, but I wasn't even talking much. So these people should please just, what you want to read is what you want to see, Sha. Some people are toxic. Some people, and it saddens me, a lot of Nigerians, and to be honest, this is why we do what we do. A lot of Nigerians need to understand that they were raised up in toxic environments. They have become toxic. How they interpret the world around them is toxic because their perspective is already toxic. So no matter what you do, they will interpret it as a toxic thing. People need to start on learning, seeing how they can be less toxic, seeing how they can have emotional maturity, seeing how they can have a hard discussion without shouting and walking away. That is the growth I'm talking of. That's what I'm here for. How do you sit down, have a crazy hard conversation, and sit down there and iron it out, trusting in the love that other person has for you? That's what literally it's about. This Akah and Claire video clearly shows everything is not strategy and projections. The guy is all about strategy. If time is not taken, he will open Excel sheet for breast milk. We're a man. His superimposing office behavior in his home and its recipe for disaster. And to be honest, there was some form of that in my conversation and the way I was thinking, or prior, because I was already thinking, okay, how do we plan? How do we strategize together? How do we make this happen? Okay, do we do it in at a certain amount of times in the day, or at a certain period of day, or not knowing? It was when I was listening and I was like, okay, it's not like that. It's not like that. Woke up thinking of Akah and how much I wanted to slap his stupid face 5 times in each cheek. It really scares me how men are making comments about communicating better after watching Claire and Akah. But most women are talking about how they would have been too angry to remain as calm as Claire. Thank you, Chisomo R. Men, and that's the reason why I put this video out. And I put it there, men, get in here and come and see this. Men need to start learning, start listening, start knowing how to handle these modalities, how to start talking or listening or hearing or paying attention. And men are clearly getting that, this is how we think, or we see ourselves in this, maybe, okay, I see, we should keep. Women, on the other hand, especially, not even women, Twitter women, most Twitter women, woke people continue. They are the ones that are like, I would have walked out. Walk out now. Now your life. What's my own with you? I'm not here for you. Somebody said, the only thing that fascinated me about that Claire and Akah video is how they still addressed each other as baby in the middle of the argument. But you see me, small fights like this. Wale, laye, Emma, Bami, Danwomo. It's true, because even in fights, you have to give those words of reassurance that I'm fighting and I'm pissed off, or I'm not getting you and you need to get me, but I'm calling you baby because you're still my baby. And I'm hearing you that, okay, well, I'm still your baby too, you understand? But this conversation, we must have it. We must talk it, because it must be hard. If not, there will be resentment. There will be, I'm not feeling heard. I feel alone. And that's what drives people apart in marriage. God will bless you. I would have changed to your full government name since. Plus, that food you're eating, nobody will tell you to drop it by the time I'm finished. Claire is the calmest, God knows. I appreciate the conversation that Akah and Claire started, but the way some of you are speaking of Akah, like he hated his wife, is unsettling. He has some learning to do, but this rhetoric I'm seeing on the TL is disgusting. My sister, God bless you. That man loves his family like no other, and he really didn't know better. He was far-sighted and unknowingly putting pressure on Claire, but now he knows better. People are now making it seem like he is a malicious person. Haba, and that's it. Did I have learning to do? Yes. Period. I've learned, I've moved on. I've added that to my medal and my, laurels of what to do, how to do, what to think, how to. When we have a second child, of course I will get that part right. It will not be this way. I've learned. Nobody has married, not married before. Nobody. This is our first child. We've not had baby before. I've never had or lived with a woman or understood what breastfeeding entails. Claire is honestly a saint, because if I gave birth to your child, like your child comes out of my vagina after 9 months of pregnancy and hours of labor, and the only thing that should come out of your mouth is, how can I make myself useful to you? The audacity of that man. That first 5 minutes I wasted in that video, I just wanted to throw that yam in his face. Tell him about how he is a leader of the pack. Biko, if you are a leader, produce breast milk now. I just still can't get around that me. I will give birth to a child, and you, a man, will tell me to start planning how I am going to pump enough milk for 7 months to 1 year. Please, men should start selling their audacity. Come and buy, my dear. Come and buy. First off, if you are part of the people that believe that I don't have a right over my wife's body, you are wrong, because I belong to another school of thought. People are going to this video. You need to understand that I belong to a school of thought that believes that my wife's body is mine, and my body is my wife's own. How she does it and what she does with it is my business, and what I do with mine and how I do mine is her business. So dears, like I said, carry your immaturity, carry your wokeness, and carry your misandry out of here. Scratch your head on test coat. Take it to the streets. It's because of Jesus I don't have time. I would have dragged my own with you too on the streets. Nonsense. To be honest, when I was reading a lot of comments, guys, I was just like, I wanted to reply some people, but again, I always kept remembering love. Reason why I am here. Who sent me? What I was sent to do. Why I was placed on this earth. Jesus Christ himself. If not. Some people have missed the point of the Akah and Claire video. But I appreciate them for putting themselves out like that. Because of that video, perhaps 1 or 2 men will become more empathic with their wives and really watch their manner of communication. And for women, at least, I learned that I can be calm during disagreements. It is quality I really admired in Claire. Not every time gbasgbos. Period. It's not every time gbasgbos. You see, in communication, you have to be mindful of your body language. Which I'm big on the way you look at me or the way you say what you say. You roughneck a certain way. I've already interpreted what you're saying as something. In fact, I've heard something else. The way you say what you say, the tone in which you say is very important in communication. Timing when you say what you say is very important. You have to be mindful of your partner. It's not you need to understand that your partner too is not a robot. Sometimes you say something, they will vex. Free. Later come again and say, see, dear, we've not finished this conversation. This is what I was trying to say. That time they might now even be more perceptive. But it's not always easy. It's not always, and you have to, like I said, love and respect is very important. Very important. Like this lady said, and to be honest, it's things like this that make me feel fulfilled. She has said she's learning from this. She will learn that I can be calm during disagreements. So disagreements should be had amicably. Let's talk it out. Let's have it, but let's be calm and let's vex, but respectively. Are we the best in communication? That's not what I'm saying. No. We put that out so that people can get better. As we are getting better, let's help our friends and family. Somebody said, leader of the pack, Bawu. Sorry, Wolf of Wall Street. That part made me chuckle. He said that's why he thinks ahead. On top of breasts that are not yours, my dear, is my breast. But I understand what you're saying. Yeah. Last night, asked E what she thought, and she said, what people are seeing as patients could be very well a woman who has learned from experience not to say anything that will provoke the wolf pack leader. And to be honest, I'm not saying Claire is perfect. Is she still learning? Yes, we are. In fact, me too, I'm still learning. We are not there yet. But we are being real and authentic in our journey. We don't want to sell you guys a lie on our Instagram page that everything is rosy. This person has said, makes you wonder how that will have gone if they were alone and no camera rolling. Did that play a role? Maybe. Do you get what I'm saying? Akah and Claire video was too difficult to watch. I wanted to slap him through the phone. So I'm not upset that I couldn't. So I'm upset that I couldn't. The caption said, men, you need to watch this. But all I could see was a man that doesn't listen. So man really said he had a breastfeeding vision. Lemao. If he easy, why you no go pump the milk yourself, sir? Fed baby is the best baby. Madam unscripted _ Alex, come and slap. Come and slap. Nonsense. I will slap you yet agota. The way most of you are painting Akah isn't fair. Damilola. What did I ever do to deserve this? What did I ever do to deserve such? Oh, thank you, thank you. Watching Akah's interview a few days ago with Tude about how marriage is about outserving the other person was check. Watching this video of Claire and Akah, and I am just in awe. Claire. Sometimes in trying to help the other person, we hurt them instead. Is that reality? It is true. Sometimes you think you're doing something helpful. You think you're doing something right. You think you're helping them, but it is not. And it is communication too that you will use to say, dear, what you're doing is not helping me. It's hurting me. This is what I need. This is not because we don't love them. It's just that there are some things you just can't experience. Remember that experience is the best teacher. So even though we hear and understand these feelings, the fact that we can't experience them is still very valid. Yeah. How did this dragging start, my dear people? So first, this dragging started a couple of hours, like 12 hours after this video surfaced on the internet. Myself and my wife have a couple's blog and a vlog. So we have a page on Instagram called Akah and Claire. And we also have a YouTube page called Akah and Claire. What is our mission and vision? We set out to tell our life journey, to inspire love. That's all we are here for. And to be honest, when you're talking about life stories and life journeys, it's not about only putting fine pictures or showing when it's good. It also has to show the hard times, because our mission is to help people, help young couples navigate this journey of life called marriage and love and relationship. That's all we are here for. It's not for us, it's for us. Do you understand what I'm saying? So, I mean, that's our vision, that's our life journey. And so sometimes, and especially this year, we got to that place where we had to sit down and realize that sometimes we have to put out uncomfortable content. Nobody has done what we're doing before. We have no intention of listening to tradition, because the truth is, if you ask us, all the mature people around us, most of the mature people around us, our parents and everybody, feels like, guys, you guys are doing it, like, you shouldn't be doing this. In fact, everybody's saying, no, you shouldn't do that. But at the end of the day, we feel like this is something bigger than us. It's beyond us. And that's why I feel like it's a calling. We've been called to this, and sometimes it will be hard. Sometimes it'll be hard on us, and we just have to do what we gotta do. Why? Because even if it's one person who gets it, even if it's one marriage it saves, even if it's one human being who decides that, yo, I've learned something, I'm gonna think differently, then we've succeeded. Anyways, let's start from this video that we put out. I was the one. You know what? Let's play it.
I found that I wasn't. And I found that it's not every mother. Proper example. My sister, formula. My mother, she said got a point when she wasn't. The child was drinking pap and water. So it's not a strange thing that people aren't able to produce milk.
I know that.
So, baby, if I'm able to do what I can to increase my supply, I will. And I am. But when you say things like, oh, we have to, I'm thinking, is it possible for me to pump 6 months? We're already in what month? Second month. And that means you're telling me I have 4 months to produce for 4 months and 6 months, 10 months. That's what I'm hearing from you. You have a deadline. We have 1 year. You have to produce milk to feed her every day, or maybe half a day, breast milk. And I'm thinking to myself that, how much have I stored in the freezer? I prefer for her to drink directly from me. If it is that all day she's drinking from me, and for 6 months she has breast milk, then obviously it's not as if my tap will close after that 6 months. If I'm able to now store, I store as we're going.
You see,
that's what I communicated to you.
I didn't understand your own side, because all I was hearing was objection, you don't have a right to talk like this or tell me this or that. But I never even said because you don't understand what it is or how it is.
Yes, exactly what I was saying to you. You don't understand. So what you were saying is, how can you make me understand?
What I'm saying is, I've never even intended that till a year. Breast milk, that's all she'll drink.
But
No,
that's
but
how
like after 6 months, 7 months,
it.
8 months, a child doesn't need as much breast milk as they need in their beginning
Yes,
stage.
but
So maybe she
that's
drinks it once a day or twice a day, but not that it's throughout, because she has to be
And
really
you know,
into something else.
Akah has seen videos and pictures of women who have stocked their freezer with breast milk. Initially, before the baby came, I was like, I can do this. If somebody else can do it. And then baby came. For 2 whole weeks, I wasn't producing milk. In my 3rd week, I was trying. Eventually, it happened. You know, even through the stress that I was going through mentally and emotionally, I was still trying. I was just, every time I'm trying to go past that issue that was happening, just so that I can produce milk. You know, I will record Gabby doing things during the day, so that when I'm pumping, I'm watching videos of her to make sure that I'm able to pump, you know. And I see how the thing kind of comes and disappears in between. So when we had that conversation, I was telling you that, except you two, you will pump, because it's not me.
That's not the right thing to say, especially at that time, because that's unfair.
No, because I'd explained to you that it's not possible. I told you that this pressure is not necessary. You know, it's like you're telling me that you will on the tap, you will off the tap. That's what you're saying. And I'm like, and I explained to you that in the bathroom, that I said to you, this is what can happen. What I told you, remember I told you that I will breastfeed. In between, I can pump to trigger my body to produce. I told you that that's what. So what you were saying is, what's the plan? What's the strategy to produce more breast milk? I'm already doing the strategy.
Let me tell you something that you need to put in consideration, especially when you hear me and when you want to talk to me.
Okay.
Nobody has been through this struggle with you more than I have. Nobody has felt your pain in this whole parenthood more than I have. Nobody has been with you, prayed for you, believed for you more than me. Nobody was there before you even started the journey more than me. I know the pain. I was there when you were having your first pain trying to breastfeed. So when I say let's make a plan, it's because I'm saying I'm believing that it will get better. I'm not saying that you're a tap. I'm saying I know what the constraints are. I know the challenges. However, let's start making plans and saying, okay, this is our goal. Is there a way we can start working towards that together? I'm not saying, oh, now this is what it is. This is what it must be. No, this is a conversation that I was even just talking about, not expecting any defense. And I understand where you're coming from and what you're saying.
Yeah, you get very, like, so for example, you want to help me. Sometimes you don't say it like you want to help me. You're saying it like I'm irresponsible.
No.
Yes, baby.
No.
So you're telling me something now about how I'm listening to you. I need you to hear me as well. So maybe going forward, you will be conscious of how you're relating this thing to me. Because I will not just sit down by myself and choose to misunderstand you. This is what is communicated to me. So maybe, as I'm telling you this thing, you need to put into consideration when you're... So for example, and it still goes through from how it's been, where, you know, I maybe don't close the lid in the kitchen, and you're like, you don't. It's not as if I don't. I didn't. Yes, I'm just using that as an example. It's not as if I don't. At that moment, I just didn't. But when you say you don't, it's like, that's how I am. Oh, you're not pumping, or you have not pumped. I actually have. I will pump in the next 3 hours. But why do you...
So when I say you haven't pumped, I'm just being a reminder.
No, it is... Babe, when will you pump? Have you pumped? Do you understand? It's not you haven't pumped, because I actually have. So when you say you haven't paid the bills, and you actually have paid the bills, and every time I'm saying to you, you have not done what you're supposed to do, you haven't done what, it makes you sound here, that means you're not responsible
to be honest,
to do what should be done.
I wouldn't feel I understand you and your build up is different from mine. But if somebody tells me, oh, you haven't paid the bills, I'll be like, it's true, I've not paid NEPA bill.
Yes, but at that point you have. That's what I'm saying.
I'll just say, I have.
You don't know how much I'm working at this. So when you say let's do it together, we are not really doing it together. We are not experiencing the pain together. We are not having to sit down together for the entire time I have to pump or breastfeed. So most of the time, even if you say, oh, we can do this together, I hear you, it's a nice gesture, but we aren't really.
We are.
Yes, the only times we are is when I ask you, babe, so when you say stuff like, oh, babe, how can we, how can we increase? It's now how you should be asking, what can I do to help you increase? Then I say, oh, just maybe if you have water, that's what I need, because you can't pump for me. So when you're saying things like, how can we, and it's like as if you're just using the we, but really it's me.
Yeah, because in my mind, it's we. You're breastfeeding this child, but it's us together. Because in my mind, we are one. We are a team. There's nothing you do that is isolated. You're a half of me. I'm a half of you. When I go out to work or bust my ass or make and pay salaries, it's us.
Yes, but it's
when
not
you're breastfeeding this child,
so
it's me and you.
For example,
my mind, I'm literally working so hard. I'm shifting my mind from an I to a we.
No, baby, I just use an example. The example I used is, imagine a scenario where I go out to meet my friends. You've been home the entire day, filming and editing, replying calls, you've been working. And I come back and you now say, oh babe, please do something. I say, no, we've been working, we've been.
But that's not the case, because we are both working at moving this family. Nobody's putting an.
It's just an example.
No, but that example doesn't work, because when I say it's a real situation where you bring your part and bring in my part.
Listen to what I'm saying. I'm trying to use that to relate to the breastfeeding.
So that's what I'm saying. It's unfair because I can't breastfeed. That's what I'm saying. That's unfair for you to even think or say.
No, baby. Yes, so I know.
Because if I could, I would.
Baby, listen. And I know that. I know you can't breastfeed. But when you're relating to me and you're saying the we, I understand where it's coming from. But in terms of using the we to make we go forward, is what can you bring to help me? Because truly the work.
I'm doing that.
Yes, so when you asked me that question yesterday, it sounded, what I heard was not, how can you also help me? It was mostly about how can I increase breast milk. What I'm
Let me
saying,
tell you what I meant. Let me say this.
Okay.
We need a plan to move forward or increase supply. My vision is that this child takes breast milk till a year. What can we do? How do we move forward? What do you need to do to make sure that this happens? Do we increase the pumping time? Do we?
So you didn't say anything like that.
No,
so my
but
response, that's what you meant. But my response to you then was...
But you remember I mentioned pumping time. You even talked
about...
I
mentioned it. I told you what I can do to increase milk supply is when I feed her. In between, I pump and I feed her again. But I found that being here, pumping to keep in freezer, I don't feel like it's necessary. I want to feed her directly. So if she can go a whole day feeding directly from me, I know that my supply has increased because she's not crying that she's hungry. And I explained this to you. That if, for example, I feed her, now she hasn't had any formula. The only time she's had formula is 2 times in a day, which is when she's with Doi. And she takes those 2 bottles. Sometimes I put 1 breast milk, 1 formula. So I am aware that my supply has increased. However, it can be more, Abby. It really can be more. But where I'm at is that I want to be able to go a whole day, a whole week, a whole month breastfeeding.
So and I appreciate that and I love that and
baby,
I like
hold
that.
on.
But do you know why I said?
Baby, hold on. And I told you, if I'm pumping at all, it's because I want you to be able to feed her.
Yeah.
Yes.
But
so
you know
those
why
are
I'm
my
very
concerns.
particular about, or I was particular about you keeping breastfeeding in the future, because baby, in 7 months when this baby starts bringing out teeth, you're not going to be able to breastfeed because she'll be biting. How do we know she will not be biting you?
Babe.
And that's also concern for you, your nipples, and my breast.
Babe, so with this breast milk, I don't want to be thinking of 1 year from now. I don't want to be thinking of 1 year from now. I'm thinking about how she can go a
That's
day.
why I'm the man of the house. That's why I'm the leader of this pack.
So that's how
we think of the future.
So that's how I interpret that as being a tap or a tank, because you think that there are no hindrances to the supply.
That's
Listen,
what I'm saying.
Listen,
I'm saying, how do we bring your vision and my vision and then find a middle way, a middle ground?
Baby, listen.
Because the truth is, we only think of now, we will forgo the future.
No, with breast milk, you have to increase to feed a child. As she's growing up, there'll be a time where she would need more. It's not really by pumping that I will increase. It's by feeling like if she sucks a whole feed, that's when it increases. So priority for me is that she feeds. And I told you what is priority for me now. 1 year storage is not priority for me now. Priority for me now is that my supply increases to feed her at least a whole day. Let's stick with that. After a while, it becomes a whole month. By the time it's a whole month, she will also be doing solids. Then I'll be able to pump and stop. Can we leave it as that? And then you just kind of didn't get the point of the conversation. And then I was like, okay, if it's that one now, you two, you will pump, because clearly
What
I
I'm saying
can't
is,
pump
especially
enough
when
to
we're talking, when
satisfy
we're
you.
planning, when we're thinking about moving the family forward, saying things like that is regressive, is not progressive. Because
it's
all
not-
that seeks to do is make you feel better and annoy me.
Okay.
Because you shouldn't say things like that. It's
Okay,
insulting to me.
it's insultive to you, and I'm
Yes.
sorry. But
Thank
what,
you.
what I was hearing there was, babe, you're a tap, you're a tank, you need to produce, and that's it. It's final. The
That's
baby.
never my intention.
Yeah, but now you're saying that's your intention, but that's what I heard. Me, I wasn't just pissed because this is a conversation we've had before, and I've explained to you what my concerns are. Like, this is me. Breast milk by itself is not something that I need to stress about. If I stress about it, I can't produce. So if I feel like you're stressing me about it, you're not helping me. And I told you this before, where, babe, please don't. I've told you before, don't stress me about this breast milk thing. Don't.
But I don't stress you.
So when you try to talk about it, you don't relate to me in a way that I don't end up being stressed. I've had conversations about breast milk with people, and they don't stress me about it. But when it's from you, and then it makes me feel like it's because you're not producing. You don't understand. And
No, but I feel
the
like
other people
sometimes I feel like it's easier for you to hear some things from other people than from me.
No,
when
that's
it comes
not
from
true,
me, you're
Akah.
like, no, it shouldn't be you talking to me about it.
Akah,
No,
that's not
you
true.
have no idea what it means to do
Really?
this. I'm telling you, that's how I feel.
About what exactly?
Breastfeeding.
Because you're a man. And
But I'm your husband
Akah.
and her father. And
Okay, so for example,
we can talk about it because it's part of a very intrinsic and foundational part
So,
of our
for
baby's
example,
life.
all you've seen in this breastfeeding thing is not really about the troubles of breast milk. You've seen the possibilities, right? Have you really heard of? It's not until you went to immunization, like saw a woman with cracked breast, with nipples and blood was coming out. Not really seeing the trauma of this thing. You don't know what it feels like to sit and just have a machine pump you. You don't know it. So aside from just seeing the outside of something, you can only feel my pain in the way that you can imagine it. So if I'm telling you that even if the conversation should happen, maybe that time was not right. Do you understand? Maybe since you want to be defensive, let's talk about it another time. Do you understand? Like, I'm also human. There are certain things that I will hear you say, even though I know that you love me and you're doing this for our own good and for Gabby's good. Like, sometimes the way you say certain things, it makes me feel like I'm not doing anything about it. And that's why I was really just defensive. I was just like, bro, if that's the issue, since you really want this thing and it's not about what I think or what I feel, both of us will have to do it, because I can't do it alone. It's not my breast that will produce this 1 year milk. It has to be both of us. So as I'm drinking oats, if we drink oats, we'll be lactate together. And me, I was even just saying that, like, bro, please, dear. Do you understand? And I'm sorry if that hurt you, but the entire conversation was painful for me to bear. I was defensive from the scratch. I was just like, can't. Really. So I apologize if you're upset.
Now, I understand that video was quite pulsating. It was deep. It throbbed with real life. And to be honest, I feel like this generation, that's not what they like to see anymore. They like to see airbrush. They like to see filter. But we have enough of Instagram and, fake people to do that. It's okay. We have a lot of fake filters and airbrush on filter on Instagram, and to be honest, your neighbors on the streets to do that. We're not set out for that. And if you know me, you know that I'm not cut out for that crap. I'm mostly authentic, real. And to be honest, I will only show you to the extent that I want you to see. But I like to be remembered for being authentic and being my true self. I'd like to be remembered for that. And so not every time, quote unquote, politically correct. I was the one who edited that video. I was the one who put that video out. The sad thing is that on Instagram, let me say 90% of the people who watched it, got it. There were so many comments about this is helping. Oh my God, I can't believe that I've been opportune to even watch this content. Oh my God, the real. Oh my God, the this. And next thing, to be honest, when all that was going on, I was like, this shit is gonna enter Twitter soon. I intentionally did not post on Twitter because I was just like, I don't think I'm wired for this audience. I'm not wired for these people. Maybe in hindsight, I should have put it out there to control the narrative. I should have put out another version out there with my same caption so that people get it and understand. But I was waiting. It was a countdown. I knew it was going to happen. And I didn't show my wife that cut when I put it out because my wife would want to somehow maybe feel like, oh, this is how people will see it. No. But I was like, no. It's good for this to come out as raw as it is and as unfiltered as it is. Now, what people don't understand is that that was not the first time we were talking about this breastfeeding thing or that I had tried to bring it up. And the first time, now when I brought it up, the response, and if you hear the video, that's where Claire was like, I was being defensive because I was just like, why am I getting backlash that? Like, why am I getting this mechanism of defense? Why am I getting this armor tanks? Like, and so that's why I brought it up a second time. Like, so it was more about what happened the last time I brought this up. Like, why did I get this kind of response? If you have intuition, you would pick that up from the video. That it was not the first time we're talking about it. And there was a way that conversation went. And we were talking about it the second time. Mind you, we didn't even plan to have that conversation there. Why? Because our friend was there. There was somebody else there. But while we were having that conversation, my friend just whipped out the phone, recorded it. Of course, when we're talking, I saw the camera. But I was like, my friend is not going to post it without my permission or post it. It's good. I mean, maybe my friend was just having fun. But Claire and I showed you a snippet of that video, be it 14 minutes. That was not the beginning of the conversation, and that was not the end. We showed you a snippet. What was that conversation about? Why did we put that out? First of all, in marriage and in life, hard conversations happen. The truth is that in life or in marriage, myself and Claire have put out nice pictures on our gram and everybody's just like, oh my God, this couple are the best couple. Oh my God, truly, he loves her so much and truly she loves him so much. Oh my God, he's the best man in the world. And I'm like, all well and good, but it's not always floral every time. It's not always roses. Marriage is not a bed of roses. It is. The success of a marriage depends on how you navigate those hard times in life, those hard conversations, how you resolve conflict resolution, and communicate. That's what makes marriage successful. Because the truth is, whether you like it or not, men are wired differently, are brought up differently, they reason differently, and communicate differently. Women are wired, communicate, think differently. If you read this book, Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus, you will understand. Not every man is a certain way, or not every woman is a certain way. But the general consensus is that this is the way men are. And whether it comes with upbringing or the way God made us, I don't know the origin, but the truth is that I act and think and talk a certain way. She acts and thinks and communicates. I have different experiences and I have a way of interpreting my life's journey. She has a different way too. But the point of this video was to show it to the world that conversations like these happen in marriage. It's not always rosy. And you guys must have seen my conversation with Chude, and everybody must have felt, oh my God, this guy is the best. All well and good. But I just wanted to show that CEO is not always like that. And I hope that people appreciate, and I do know that a lot of people appreciate it. I see you, I saw the comments, I saw the posts and everything. People appreciate the honesty, people appreciate the unfilteredness. And because there is a need for this kind of content, it's not always rosy every time. And I'm not here for that. Do you understand what I'm saying? So people need to understand that this video was not the end. Akah didn't say sorry. Akah didn't say sorry. The truth is that I actually said sorry in the video, but people didn't hear. But after the conversation, of course I did say sorry to my wife. But what you people, Akah is not listening. Akah is not listening. I have a school of thought. I've learned something, and I'm trying to hear and unlearn, and then ask again when I hit a roadblock. Then I stop again. I process. I'm a processor. That's it. I process. So most of the time you hear me listening and talking, listening and processing. In fact, at the end of the video, you literally see me doing because it hits me that, oh shit, okay, I hear her, I see her, I was looking at her, I was processing. And then after that, which my friend has stopped recording video, I said, baby, I'm sorry. You know, and the truth is, this happened a while back. My wife is breastfeeding. My wife makes milk. And to be honest, was there a social construct that I was subscribed to? First of all, you have to understand that so I'm very hands-on in my family. And it's a choice that I took, not that I saw my father being hands-on. It's a choice that I made, that I wanted to be that kind of husband and that kind of father. Now, after I read books about fatherhood, about parenthood and all of that, so I've seen a couple of things. Now, when it came to breastfeeding and breast milk, I've seen the pros and cons of breast milk, or the cons and pros of formula. Now, a couple of weeks back, 2 months ago, there was this report that came out, and I don't know if you guys, well, if it does not matter to you, the algorithm will not bring it to you, will not see it, but I did see it, about a report from WHO about the kind of bad metals and, you know, the chemicals inside formula, and how these best products that we buy, cheap ones and expensive ones, they all have it, from arsenic to metals, all sorts. And I saw a list of all the brands and the amount of those metals and harmful, you know, chemicals that they had in them. I and my wife had that conversation, and I was like, yo, because I was very breast milk and formula. We had that conversation where we're like, we need to reduce formula and increase breast milk. And thankfully, my wife began to increase supply because baby began to suck more from her breast. And so when I came on, and to be honest, my wife, what my wife says is true. I've seen posts of women who stored breast milk. And I was like, you know what? I came to her, I was like, yo. And I'm having a conversation with you guys because you guys are the ones. If not, I will enter street on Twitter. Oh my God. If not for God. But let's continue. And so I came and I was just like, yo babes, okay, so we want to increase breast milk. We've had this conversation. We want to increase supply. We've talked about it. And do you know what? For all you naysayers, I have the right to discuss it with my wife. I have a right on what goes on with my wife's body or my baby and how my baby is being treated or nurtured. I have a right to talk. I have opinions. I have inputs. Deal with it. Go and die. So anyway, Sha, I had this conversation with my wife, and I was like, yo babes, what is the plan on increasing breast milk, on making sure that we store breast milk for the future? Now, if you read the caption to that video that I posted on Instagram, go and find it on Akah. Read the caption. You'll see that the way she responded could have been hampered on a certain factor. And like I said, our point was on communication, not even just breast milk. Communication. Did I bring it up at the right time? I'm not sure. Did I say it with the right tone? I'm not sure. Was I sensitive to how she was feeling before I brought her that message? I don't know what she must have gone through with feeding the baby or downstairs or something. She came into the bathroom and I said what I said, and the conversation didn't go so well. So what I'm saying is, you will see that that was also a learning curve for me. It didn't just happen, no, this happened weeks back. But that was a learning curve for me. And I learned, I saw, I felt, I heard, I saw that, oh wow, breastfeeding is not just feeding. Because when I was young and when I was growing up, I saw women just whip out their breast and breastfeed. I didn't hear women complain. I didn't see the pain. I didn't understand what it took. Do you understand? Now we have different tools for breastfeeding. We have all this, we have all that. And then, I don't know, sometimes I'm just like, oh my God, adulthood gives you a whole different perspective to life. I'm just like, I didn't know. Okay. And when I said that, when I said, I have a right to plan for the future of my family. Oh yes. So dears, scratch your head on test coat if you feel differently. I have a right. That's how I want to run my family. Whether it be my wife's breast milk, my wife's body, my child, I have the right. At least, to the very least, to say, baby, this is what I'm thinking. This is my plan. It's my wife that will say, my dear, it's not like that, oh. It's not like that. Come, this is what's happening, oh. This is the real truth. It's not easy. I'll say, are you serious? Oh, okay. So, how do we do it? Or do we change? Or simple. Now that I've heard my wife, I know that, okay, it's not that easy. Let's forgo so and so. I've heard her plan. How to marry what I said with what the reality of life is. So she's like, let us focus on now. If it is one breast milk that I'm storing every day for the future, why? Because I also am thinking about, if me and my wife have decreed and declared and we have planned that, we want to feed our baby till 1 year, we should not wait to 1 year to start, or to the baby is 6 months to start storing. Why? Because when baby begin to have teeth, that one me I know. When baby begin to have teeth, baby will bite your breast. Oh my gosh. Baby will bite your breast. It will be wise for you to reduce the amount of time you breastfeed baby and begin to give baby expressed milk. It's just being logical. But like I said in the caption to the video, not every time logic. So I learned. So the truth is, men will almost always interpret life logically and in that perspective. But it's a woman that will now say, dear, okay, wait, this thing, this is how to bring it down here. This is how we achieve this. Why? Because this is not possible. This is not. A woman is detailed. A woman is the one who helps bring a seed to life, and it's practical. You give her a seed, she gives you a baby. You give her an idea, she brings it to you. My wife is storing milk for and already on that path. So, dear misogynist, no, did I say misogynist? Dear misandrist, dear Twitter heads and fake woke people, this clearly was not for you, because most of you are not in marriages. Most of you have not had relationships for 2 months, more than 2 months. So you really don't understand the game here, and it was not for you. But what I'm grateful for is that, what I'm grateful for is that the people that this was made for, the people that this video went out to, the people it was made for, the people it was meant to reach, it reached them and they got it. Thank God for that, because to be honest, there was a 70 to 80% of people who got it, and some of those who didn't get it, even on Instagram, they came from Twitter. What you people did was that you watched the snippet, or you watched the video that somebody posted for you without my caption and did not understand where I was coming from and why I was trying to call my brothers, men, to come and see this post and see how I almost missed it, or how I missed it, and how I got to learn, and how my wife told me that, yo, this is how it goes down. Because why? Communication in marriage, hard conversations, hard experiences that two people are going through. How do you bring that person that you love and or you believe loves you from the other side of the divide to your side is what matters in marriage and love. That's what we're trying to plan, or we're trying to achieve here. Yeah, but guys, this is the end of the video. I hope that most of you learn or have seen and understand where you're coming from. And to be honest, a lot of you do and did. A lot of people on Instagram did. Instagram and Twitter is a whole different ballgame, like a different world. When I saw what's happening on Instagram, the way people are like, oh my God, this is so sweet, this is so cool, oh my God, I appreciate you guys, your honesty. And on Twitter, dragging. I go back and watch the video, like, is this the same video that we are seeing here? I'm just like, Twitter people, kilo be kilo ba. Like, what load are you carrying? Why are you tightening so much to your chest? Please, dears, keep quiet and just calm down. Life is not that hard. Do you understand? But anyway, guys, if you enjoyed this video, please make sure you subscribe. ABNG guy, I believe in you. I trust you. Please, dears, hope you still believe in me and love me. Well, I'm sure you guys. Naughty. I get you guys. You guys are solid. E joke. But yeah, please make sure you comment. I'd like to see what you thought about this. I want to see you guys, your comments on this thing. I want to hear what you guys actually felt and thought, and what you felt about the whole Twitter thing and all of that. But yeah, see you guys in the comment section. Make sure you share this video. Make sure you show people what it was all about and all of that. See you guys later. Peace.